Good morning on this glorious summer day here in Boston. So this week's Torah portion is called Parshat Re'eh, which means to see. How do we say in English? Seeing is believing. Not just to see because you happen to be there, but to see something to the sense that you believe it's real, that you know it's there. And the Torah portion starts, God says, Re'eh anochi noten lefnechem hayom bracha u'klala. See, I put in front of you today the blessing and the curse. And then God says the blessing is if you will follow all my ways and listen and hearken to the words of God and do the will of Hashem. And the curse, of course, is when we don't listen. You know, back in Genesis, it says, B'tzelem Elokim nivra ha'adam. Mankind were created in the image of God. And according to most interpretations, the image of God means that we, just like God, are the only other creations that have the power of choice, the power to choose. You could choose to be kind, or you could choose to be rude. You could choose to be caring and loving, or you could choose to be uninterested. You could choose to have empathy, and you could choose not to have empathy. You could choose to keep Shabbos, to go to shul, to celebrate the holidays, to celebrate life, to celebrate love, to celebrate Judaism, or you could choose not to. God gives us the choice, but He also gives us the wisdom. He also gives us the tools. He also gives us the guidance to choose the right path. Yes, we could go off the right path, but the choice is ours. They say the story of this Chacham, this wise man who was an advisor to a king. And he was a very brilliant man, and the king respected him a lot. And he always gave the king a proper vision and guidance of what to do and how to do. But there were a lot of detractors, a lot of anti-Semites who hated him and always tried to egg the king on and say, look, he doesn't know what he's talking about, he's wrong. And one time, they got the king to ask him a question. He says, look, I have a fly in my hand. Is the fly alive or dead? The Chacham, the wise man, knew that ultimately, if he said that the fly was alive, the king would close his hand tighter, kill the fly, and open it up and say you were wrong. And if he says the fly was dead, then the king would open up his hand and let the fly go out, and he would be wrong again. He prayed to God for the wisdom to say and do the right thing. And then he turned to the king and he said, life and death is in your hands. It's up to you if the fly lives or doesn't. The king was so impressed with his advice and, of course, kept him and pushed away the detractors who hated him. But the point is, the choice of life and death is in our hand. Later on in the Torah portion says, God puts in front of us life and death, blessing and curse. We could choose life, which is vibrant, which is full of Torah, which is full of values, which is full of meanings. We could choose to teach our children to be kind, to be loving, to be spiritual. Or we could teach them to be materialistic and selfish and narcissistic. God pleads with us. And when we follow the Torah, we follow the ways of Judaism, that we choose life, we choose blessing. Just in a week from today, we will be blowing the shofar. I know it's August 2nd, but believe it or not, we're a month away from the high holidays. 5 weeks away, a time of introspection. And God gives us the choice now, and He says, as we get ready for the high holidays, choose life, choose love, choose happiness. God bless you. Have a great day. See you again tomorrow.